So these are the ingredients that I will be using for the spaghetti recipe. There's 15 total. The first one, of course, is the chicken breast. I have 4 of them that I've already cooked and set aside. I have black pepper that we'll be using, the salt, also for seasoning. I have mushrooms. I have the diced tomatoes, no salt, of course. I have the broth that I cooked the chicken with. We're going to be using that. And then I have also flour. We're just going to use a little bit of it. We're also going to be using the spaghetti noodles. I'll show you what I'll do in a second. And then I have the bell pepper we're adding to it, the onion, can't forget the onion, 2 different types of milk, one's a 2% and one is the almond milk. And then I have the olive oil spray that we'll be using. We're not going to be using butter. And then 2 different types of cheeses, fat-free cheddar, and then of course the Mexican version. So let's get started. One of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to split that pound of spaghetti in half. So there's our noodles, and all we're going to do is we are going to break them first in half and then again into quarter sizes. And that's what we'll do for the rest of those noodles there. And then we're going to boil it with 2 cups of that chicken broth, the water that we use to cook the chicken with, as well as regular water so it can have that chicken flavor. And then while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and get the other ingredients set up. So with those 4 chicken breasts, we are going to cut them up in cubes or shred them. It's your choice. I got the 50% off mushrooms because, well, they're not going to go to waste. We're actually going to use half of the package. We're just going to wash them and then we're going to cut them up really nice and small and set them aside. The same with the bell pepper. We are only using half of it and setting it aside. And even the onion, we are using half of the onion as well. And this is what all of your ingredients should look like, all nice and set aside. Unfortunately, my chicken breast did not come out cubed. It came out kind of shredded. That's okay. I have both of the milks together in one container. I have, of course, the tomatoes, that cheese. It's a cup of cheese, the fat-free, then the onions, the bell pepper, as well as the mushrooms. And of course, it's 1 tablespoon of flour. What you want to do is spray your pan, and then you're going to add the onions, the mushrooms, and the bell pepper in the pan. Now that that has been cooking for a while, you're going to add some more ingredients to the pan. It's going to be that flour. We're just going to stir it a little bit, and then we are going to add the milk. I put both milks together in there. It's supposed to be about a cup. So it's half a cup of the 2% and half a cup of the almond milk. That's what it should look like. It's already thickening up because that's what the flour does to it. So now we're just going to add the tomatoes and the cheese. And then we're going to add the chicken, all of that chicken. And once it's in there, then we're going to pour about a cup of that broth that we had set aside. And of course, I'm going to put a little bit more because I'm going to stick this in the oven. You don't have to add a little bit more. It's your choice. And this is what it looks like. And all we have left is adding the noodles to the pan. The noodles are ready, so I'm just going to add it to the pan, stir it a little bit, and then it will be ready to go in that 9x13 dish that I have set aside. And like I said, you don't have to have that much liquid inside the pan. You can use less. I just prefer to put that in there so that I can put it in the oven. So now I'm just transferring from the pan to the dish. And it's super heavy. We're just going to pour it in there. Next, I am just going to add my half a cup of the Mexican cheese on top. You can add more if you want, but I'm trying to live healthier, so that's what I have. So it's going to go in the oven 350 degrees for about 15 minutes until the cheese is melted, or unless you want it a little crispy at the top. It's your choice. And this is what it looks like when it's out of the oven. Time to taste test. And this is about a cup of the serving. And you can see it looks like a lot on that plate. Oh wow. It's really good. Of course, you can serve it with a side of another veggie, a salad, a small slice of bread. But yeah, there you go.